Jenny, please stay on with me. Now, the US claims Iran is firing missiles indiscriminately, using mobile launchers from various locations to inflict maximum damage in the Middle East. Meanwhile, President Donald Trump has told lawmakers that it is not yet possible to know the full scope and duration of US strikes on Iran. In a letter notifying Congress of the military action, Trump said the threat from Iran had been untenable, despite efforts to find a diplomatic solution. Brian, what more can you tell us? All right. We'll try and reconnect with my colleague Brian Thomas. But Major General Aditya Jaini, as we were discussing earlier, and you rightly said, I mean, the US very conveniently, when they're questioned on the fact that a school was bombed, there are 160 graves of children, they don't have an answer for that. And then, as you rightly said, who's actually begun this scenario? What would you like to say on what the US now is saying?
Vaishali, to decipher the word indiscriminate is not difficult at all. What is indiscriminate? You know, indiscriminate, you think what the United States is now saying that Iran is doing indiscriminate bombing. What kind of bombing were they doing? You mentioned, I as a military man who has seen blood and sweat in war, I've got bullets in my face, bullets in counterinsurgency. When I saw those graves being dug, 165 of them on the TV, literally my eyes went moist. I mean, that is not the way what war is fought. You have a grudge against a particular country. Firstly, the grudge itself is not clear. Donald Trump, who the hell believes Donald Trump? He's a maniac. I mean, I don't want to use the word fool on a national hookup. But the fact is that, does he have a political aim? What was his political aim of attacking? Because it is unless there is a political aim, it is from a political aim that a military aim emerges. And from a military aim, the military strategy and the military objectives emerge. But did Donald Trump have a political aim? Just like he had a useless political aim in Iraq. He said weapons of mass destruction. Till today, the bloody fellows have not found the weapons of mass destruction in Iraq. And see what kind of mayhem they did in Iraq. The same game they are playing in Iran. Initially, Trump himself said that the aim is to carry out a regime change. Now, his own foreign minister, yesterday I was hearing on some news network, that he says, no. The aim was not regime change. The aim was to reduce their missile capability and their nuclear capability. Then, if that was true, the talks were going on. The talks were already going on. Give the talks a time to materialize to get something objective coming out of those talks. While the talks are on, you start bombing Tehran. You bomb the leadership. You knock out the leader of the country. You knock out the IRGC commander. You knock out the family. Then you go and bomb the children. You go and bomb the schools. And naturally, Iran is going to retort. Iran is not a mean country. See the assets of Iran. Just see, Shali, see the map. What a huge country Iran is. It is 1.5 times the size of India. And we must not forget that the Ayatollah regime is very well received in the country. Because Iran has got a rural setup and an urban setup. The urban setup is very few. There are very few towns where the urban people are maybe not that much in favor of Ayatollah. But the rural lot, which is the majority population of Iran, are very much hardcore Shias. They are absolutely sworn to the Ayatollah. And therefore, to think that a regime change can be done without putting boots on ground is impossible. As a military man, I can say that. Impossible. Iran is not Ukraine. Iran is not Afghanistan. Iran is not Venezuela, or neither is Iran Gaza or Vietnam. They will fight. They will fight back.
Major General
And
Jenny,
the
you're
Americans
making
are
a
going to
very
really lose
pertinent
because-
point, and I'll come back to you very, very shortly because I do want to